This is going to be your guide to using Sinistcha in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Strength Sap. Thank you very much for watching. But seriously, what is with the power creep on top of power creep that we see in the Teal Mask? And the weird thing is, the trio legendaries are like the worst of the Pokemon, but then we have Blood Moon Ursaluna, we got Ogerpon, and Sinistcha is a sleeper monster because of its signature move, but also getting one of the best moves in the game, and that's how we're going to be breaking it down. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below. Matcha Gotcha. I don't get it, because Game Freak initially removed Scald to see what that would do for the meta, and then kind of brought it back, but the new Pokemon is Scald plus Giga Drain. That's not okay. It doesn't matter that it's only a 20% chance to burn instead of 30. If anything, that makes it more BS when you lose to this thing because your sweeper Pokemon gets burned and then it's over. Also, the 90% accuracy, that just adds more frustration points into it, where like if you're using it and it randomly misses and that was like crucial for surviving, feels more BS. Like this could have been 70 power, 100% accuracy, could have had some other things going for it, but instead we just get like 80 power. Wait, 80? It's stronger than Giga Drain? That's just so freaking weird. And then again, like Strength Sap heals the target for their attack stat and then lowers the attack by 1. So you eat a physical hit, you Strength Sap, you get like more than 50% of your health back in most situations, and even against special attackers, they have some kind of base attack value, so you're still going to be getting a very significant heal, and then the physical attackers do less and less damage, and then you just win the game off of that. Hospitality, we're going to talk about like a little bit of a double set later on in the video, but it gets heat proof. So Grass Ghost, kind of a meme typing with all of its weaknesses. Grass not really doing so hot, but fire damage, just no more fire weakness anymore. That's crazy. And it gets Calm Mind, and it gets Nasty Plot. So we see this weird thing, like some Pokemon are deliberately nerfed by not having a crucial move or having like really bad stat distribution or like a useless ability. Sinistcha just kind of has everything at once, and it doesn't make sense that this Pokemon just randomly gets everything at once. So the idea behind this moveset is that, yeah, you just have natural defensive bulk, and since you're not boosting your defense, it's not sticking around, a fresh physical attacker comes in, so you need to be healthy enough to then survive Strength Sap, get rolling on them, which is why we're going heavier into the defensive investment, even though our special defense is naturally lower. But then, like, we just find a Calm Mind, and when we get the Calm Mind, we win against special attackers. Strength Sap means we win against physical attackers. Calm Mind makes the Matcha Gotcha stronger, so then we just start healing while doing damage. And the last move is Flavor and Up to You. I've been really liking Tera Bug. I don't want this thing to like get set up and then just lose or like completely stall out into something like a Wo-Chin. So even with resisted hits, it's really weird on the type coverage calculator. So like Grass Bug, yeah, Core Grass, not really good to coverage no matter what you add in. So you're just going to be giving up something, and then you can Tera kind of into anything you want. Dark usually covers into a lot, but Grass Dark means we find a lot of problems. So yeah, Grass Bug, a lot of things resist us, but that's why we get +2 Calm Mind, and it's effectively neutral, and if we get +4 or more, we're still winning regardless. So it's kind of like shutting down the more important threats with the typing. Also, it's just meta dependent. Some metas, this is going to be like a good Tera combo. Others, this could be terrible. So yeah, you can just kind of explore with that and go into some other moves. Hex, natural synergy. Like, just spam Matcha Gotcha until you get the burn. Actually, maybe Hex doesn't even matter. Because, like, you hit him with a Matcha Gotcha, small chance to get burned. If you hit him again on, like, a +2 or whatever Calm Mind, that's just a lot of damage, and then you don't need the bonus damage on Hex. So actually, even though it sounds kind of neat for the synergy, unless, like, a weird... Like, unless it's, like, Calm Mind versus Calm Mind or Quiver Dance, and then you need, like, the big damage ramp to drain them of their recovery moves faster, I don't think Hex actually matters. So yeah, it's kind of like whatever Tera type you need to fill in for this one. So you kind of have to go all in on the Tera Blast with this Pokemon, but normal Grass, I actually think is not terrible on its own. It's actually, like, resisted by less things, so you can just do that if you need to and you want to preserve your Tera for something else, so you don't feel the need to Tera. But the thing behind this, like, oh, they're going to be hitting you with a super effective Ghost type move or Dark type move, you just become really neutral on Bug with Heat Proof. just flying and rock weaknesses, rock is not really that great of an offensive typing because it all relies on Stone Edge, and we haven't even seen a lot of like Stone Edge play or sweeper rock Pokemon come in. Same thing with flying, that the access to flying moves that actually do significant damage, not really that great, even with the return of Dual Wing Beat. And then whenever someone goes like Terra Fly and Terra Blast, it usually just sucks, so it doesn't matter anyways. Let's go into the damage calculations, where I feel like everything I know about Pokemon is fraudulent because of all the power creep. Like, I know that tank Pokemon are good, and like tank investment inherently works. I just need to take 60% damage max, and then you can sustain and win. Even though I've been playing tanks for like 15 years of competitive Pokemon, I'm still baffled at the proficiency of defensive investment, even though it makes a lot of sense. Like, Clefable is a Pokemon you look at and you think, oh, this thing isn't going to work. Even max hit points, max defense, 95-73 is too low to survive. And then it turns out that it isn't. So Sinistcha, with not even like full defensive investment, because that little bit of special defense tech, can just survive an Icicle Crash from a Jolly Chien-Pao. Now, this is without an item. You see Life Orb, even though that's kind of fraudulent through damage theory. Let me pull up Pokemon Home just to be sure as to like if it's even running a strong enough offensive item. Chien-Pao, 4th most used on the Battle Stadium, number 1 Focus Sash, 62% of the time, and then Life Orb, Choice Band, but more likely to run into non-damage boosting options. Because like when you add all of this together, it kind of becomes significant because we have like 10%, 12, 13, 14, 15. So like, yeah, almost an 80% chance that you're not going to see damage boosting on the Chien-Pao. Also, that means like depending on the game state, if you can 100% confirm it's not Choice Band or not Life Orb, Sinistcha doesn't even need to Terastallize. And then you take around 140 something damage, but you heal 172, -1, you take around 100 damage, and then like you heal still for more than you take until it just gets completely demolished. And now you can just set up a Calm Mind in the face of a physical attacker hitting you with super effective hits. Also, the uninvested Matcha Gotcha is not insignificant, healing us for about 20% of our health and almost two-shotting the Chien-Pao. And that's where all the weirdness comes in for like defensive EV efficiency, because Skarmory in the past was seen as like one of the best defensive tanks in the game. It's only a 65-140. Some of the outrageous power creep we've seen. Now, Steel typing is really good to switch into a lot. Steel flying means it doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but it's still like only a 65-140. Corviknight comes in with 98-105, and that's defensively tankier. Now, Sinistcha isn't as tanky as a Skarmory or Corviknight raw defensively, but it's close. It takes about 15% more defensive damage, which means like you're still surviving pretty much everything, because the point of these Pokemon is to be like 3-hit plus KOs into non-boosted physical attackers, and then again, you get the Strength Sap, which completely invalidates it. So with 71-106 defenses invested, you just kind of survive everything, including super effective hits, and then you snowball on Strength Sap, and then you can also go Calm Mind into special attackers and then permanently ramp against them, or against a physical attacker. You Strength Sap them once, that could maybe just turn you into a 3-hit KO, so then you Calm Mind. If they switch, now you're set for that special attacker. If they don't, you survive again, Strength Sap, rinse, repeat until you win the game, and you also have a sustaining attack move. Which is why it's like, I don't even know what to do for the item. Citrus Berry could just be bad, unless you're like going against a special attacker first, because you take the physical hit, Citrus Berry activates, and Strength Sap was putting you to full anyways. Citrus Berry is mostly for setting up against special attackers initially, so sometimes like you have item value, sometimes you don't. Leftovers is just always working. Maybe it swings some kind of Strength Sap or Calm Mind number. Low chance because of the 116, but if you're around for more than 4 turns, you have more value than the Citrus Berry. It also combos with Matcha Gotcha to where you might not need a healing turn, you just go offense and then heal up enough to survive and worry about Pokemon coming in. Maybe the opponent hits you, you finish them off, you don't get enough health back, and then the Pokemon coming in, if it's a strong physical attacker threatening like a 60%, then you might not be able to survive the Strength Sap, but the leftovers over time with that finishing Matcha Gotcha could be the difference maker, and then again, whatever damage thing happens here. And that's why I put the Bright Powder here, because it's a 10% chance to negate 100% of the opponent's damage, which could lead to more effective durability. Also, clutching into bad matchups where you might actually get KO'd before being able to properly set up. And now that we have to worry about Blood Moon Ursaluna, this bypasses the Keen Eye effect on its ability, so it can actually miss moves. Also, a lot of moves just randomly have lowered accuracy now for some kind of offset, so it makes it better into certain matchups like the Chien Pao. I guess if you Tera off of the grass typing Iron Bundle's Hydro Pump, kind of becomes an issue if you're not fully calm-minded and it's going like choice specs or something. So just increasing the chance to miss feels pretty good, because Icicle Crash has a really neat effect where it misses when it absolutely shouldn't and you needed it to land. And I don't have Quick Claw here because it's really bad with the Strength Sap. If it activates, you're at full health. Sure, they're at -1, but now the next one's going to heal less, and you didn't get the healing effect of Strength Sap, which is what makes it so good. So if you're not running Strength Sap, which I don't think is viable, really, one Iron Defense can end the game with how bulky this Pokemon is, because now it's pushing you over even like +1 Skarmories and Corviknights. So you get really tanky. Calm Mind Matcha Gotcha. You actually don't need to special attack invest much with an 80 base power stab move and a 121 special attack, but you're not healing an insane amount. You hit them for 50%, and then you heal for like 20-ish, which isn't as good as a 50% that you need from a Synthesis. Now, maybe the burn happens, which completely ruins the opponent's day, but it is harder to set up. It does open up like the Hex comboing, and it means, yeah, Matcha Gotcha Hex is just a 2-hit KO, even at +1 Calm Minds, if you do get that chance to activate. Citrus Berry lets you set up a bit more to where, oh, Calm Mind, like take a special hit, Calm Mind, and then take like Citrus Berry activates, take another one, Matcha Gotcha, and you're still winning the matchup. But it's kind of tricky to get into this position, but if you can set up against tank Pokemon, and then their offensive threat comes in at +2 Calm Mind, you don't need the Strength Sap, and then you just have the permanent Iron Defense. And then, the long-awaited doubles set. So max hit points, max special attack. Maybe people are more expecting bulk with how tanky this Pokemon can be. It allows Hospitality to actually get used. On switch-in, restores 1/4 of its allies' maximum hit points. Not bad, free quarter when it comes in, and then you can just be supportive. You know, you heal your ally out of maybe a lethal range, and then you can Strength Sap a physical attacker, make them feel really bad about it. Now, your ally Pokemon not getting KO'd can protect or recover or sustain itself or just get the support it needs to survive. And at the same time, you're a damage threat. Matcha Gotcha comes in, and because you're Modest Nature max special attack, you are a serious 2-hit KO threat. Same thing on the Shadow Ball. Now we're finding coverage. So you can be hitting things for surprising super effective hits that do crazy amounts of damage or could get a 1-hit KO. This is into Golden Go. Now it's not hit point invested Golden Go, but 80% chance to 1-hit KO the Golden Go. If it take any chip damage, even better. But just Modest Shadow Ball comes in and wrecks the 87-91 on a super effective hit. I also like the Moringa Berry because of the Strength Sap synergy, so if they hit you with a special attack, and then you Strength Sap the physical Pokemon, you're just taking no damage now. And then you're still threatening Matcha Gotcha Shadow Balls. Foul Play, just a good thing to have. Can also have the Scald to synergize into your special attack and open up your coverage a bit more. Even though I don't think the water adds too many more super effective hits, actually 117, so you get 25% more hits by adding in the Scald, and then you've supported while also being a damage threat yourself, so this makes it to where you can't really be ignored, and you're also tanky, so putting stats and damage into it makes it kind of tough. Like, what if this wins the game? Because in a 2v1 situation, Sinistcha can like tank the hits, Matcha Gotcha finish off an opponent, and then get durable enough to just to sustain, survive that third hit, and then KO the last Pokemon. So it plays like a really interesting mix and can get a damaging support Pokemon behind it just to put it into a position where it can do that and surprise steal a game. So the doubles does have some interesting effect on the Sinistcha, but it's mostly about whatever singles flavor comes together and ends up working against the most things that you're commonly going to run into on the Battle Stadium, but this easily, quickly takes over a game. If this Pokemon makes it to the point where it's at full health or 90-ish% with a Calm Mind under its belt, game's over. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.